Some locals believe that this is the most haunted house in Texas. And they're right. Life at a frontier fort was lonely, isolated, harsh. You can't imagine the sense of isolation. 150 to 200 people died at the fort.
You have to imagine hundreds of deaths here.
Edith was a child, and she passed away in the upstairs of the home. They moved all the bodies that were buried here, except for one, and that was Edith. She's still here. That's the girl I saw at the base of the stairs.
I mean, that looks like a 4, 5, 6-legged creature.
You have like a whole neighborhood of empty haunted houses right here.
Did you hear that?
I invite you to use my mind.
1,
2, 3,
4,
5, 6. You want bodies? 7, 8, 9.
Static.
It's like really freaky.
That's really scary.
On tonight's episode of the Paranormal Files, we're inside of one of the most haunted houses in Texas. Welcome to the old officers' quarters here at Fort Concho. The history of this house and this fort is incredibly interesting. Hundreds of deaths, but there's one ghost above them all that sticks out. And that's the spirit of this little girl named Edith. From the ghosts of Texas Revolutionary soldiers to the playful spirits of children, this place has it all. So join us tonight for another spooky night of ghost hunting right here on the Paranormal Files. I'm your host, Colin Brown, and thanks for watching. As a paranormal investigator, my job isn't just about ghosts. It's also about facing real physical dangers. Exploring abandoned buildings and haunted houses means dealing with potential hazards like collapsing structures, wet and slippery floors, rusty nails in the walls, and so much more. One wrong step in one of the buildings that we film in could lead to serious injury, and I've seen how quickly things can go wrong in these environments. I can remember one time when I was investigating inside of a haunted warehouse. A shelf collapsed, a heavy box fell down on top of me and knocked me to the ground. It was a close call. Luckily, I wasn't hurt, but it could have been so much worse. That experience made me realize how important it is to have protection in case something like that happens again, especially when injuries can have lasting impacts. In today's world with so many risks, it's important to have a partner like Morgan & Morgan, who can keep you safe and compensate for any injuries you may sustain in life if you become their client. And in addition, when you're seriously hurt, your injury could be worth millions. Morgan & Morgan don't settle for lowball offers. In the past, they've achieved significant verdicts like $12 million in Florida and $26 million in Philadelphia for car crash victims. And the fee is absolutely free unless you win your case. I've dealt with personal injury attorneys before, and let me tell you, it can be a brutal process, especially if you've been seriously injured and you can tell that your attorney's heart just isn't in the fight. But that won't happen with Morgan & Morgan. Morgan & Morgan, America's largest personal injury law firm, fights insurance companies to get you the compensation that you deserve if you become their client. And their quick smartphone-based process makes it easy to check if you have a case and take action to protect your rights. So if you've been injured, whether it's from a car accident, a workplace incident, or any other situation, you can start your claim right now with Morgan & Morgan at www.forthepeople.com/paranormal. The link's in the description, or by scanning the QR code on screen from your phone's camera. Anyways, y'all, let's get back to the video.
Hello, my name is Bob Bluehart. I am the site manager here at Fort Concho National Historic Landmark in San Angelo, Texas. Fort Concho is among the best preserved frontier forts west of the Mississippi. Now, what does that mean? Well, the Army built lots of forts west of the Mississippi after the Civil War. There were hundreds of them, actually, dozens in Texas, and due to an accident of geography, being built of limestone, but most importantly, having a city surround and use it, and a woman 100 years ago try to save it, it is all here today. We have 6 of the original barracks, we have 8 of 9 of the original officers' quarters, a hospital, a chapel, a quartermaster, a commissary, a headquarters, a powder house, a couple of stables, a bandstand, and a few other buildings. Represents one of the best preserved frontier forts west of the Mississippi. The Army built these forts much like the police departments in large cities created police station houses. Each house had its own area or district or territory to cover. The soldiers were like officers, the horses like patrol cars. This fort covered everything north up until the Oklahoma, then Indian Territory border, west out towards Fort Stockton, south down to Del Rio, and east to what would be considered the hill country. So we had a lot of land to cover. But really, what made the fort successful, if that's the word, in its duties in protecting the citizens and securing the frontier, what really happened was the frontier developed, the railroads came in, the telegraph lines were strung, the Native American warriors were eventually either pushed onto reservations or defeated in battle, and just civilization jump-started, vaulted over the fort, went west. By 1889, this institution was no longer necessary. And in a novel concept, the government was trying to save money, and it shut down many of these forts in the 1880s, and almost half of the frontier forts in this area, actually more than half, 2/3 were shut down by the 1890s. Today, this place stands as a testament to the hundreds, if not thousands, of soldiers who served here, including the famed Buffalo Soldiers, the black troops of the western frontier. And it stands as a monument to the many hundreds of people who sweat blood, money, tears, and effort to put this place back together, because it was not in great shape in the 1920s when the preservation efforts started. We are a public site. We are here 7 days a week. We have an awesome library, a terrific collections, an enviable series of programs and events throughout the year. We're run by the city of San Angelo, and we are here for people to enjoy, and we are here to serve.
Real quick question. Were there any interesting events that happened here at the fort that you feel people online should know about?
When people come to this fort and many other forts west of the Mississippi, there are usually two questions. The first, of course, is where is the bathroom? Well, that's easy. That's in the visitor center. The second is where is the wall? It's a fort. Where is the wall? Well, we sometimes answer with two questions in return. One, why do you want a wall? And two, what would you make it out of? First question is easy. People say, well, in case the Indians attack. Well, they do that in the movies. They don't do that out here. Why would a small party of Native American warriors, for whom it would take a generation to replace a downed warrior, attack a fort that had unlimited supplies and limited men and unlimited places to hide behind sturdy buildings? They did not attack forts. And second, out in the West Texas prairies, what would you build a wall out of? There were no trees here. All the lumber that came to build these buildings came by wagon freight. The limestone was quarried nearby. They got lucky with that. That was an accidental discovery. It would take tons of limestone to build a wall, and it would serve no purpose. So that's usually the biggest questions that we get. The other is, was the fort ever attacked in any way, shape, or form? And not here. The Indian warriors were usually interested in horses and mules, mostly horses, and they attacked the corrals on the north side, but there is no case of this fort ever being attacked. So, did anything interesting happen here? Depends on your definition of interesting. Probably for the 22 years, life was pretty boring at this place, and that's the story. Life at a frontier fort was lonely, isolated, harsh, and totally disconnected from the world at large. You can't imagine the sense of isolation in places like this. Today, with your cell phone, TV, radio, and many other social media things, you think you're connected. Back then, up until the mid-1870s, there was no telegraph. The railroad didn't get here till 1888. Wagon freight was the only way people and things could get here. You could go weeks or months without any contact with the outside world. That alone, I think, is the story, and that's one of the reasons why we need to pay homage to these people who worked here.
That is so interesting. I can't imagine. So,
well, you take this thing. I can order a pizza in Moscow, with this thing. If you had a soldier, and an officer, Mrs. Grierson, for instance, who lived in this building, she was an epic letter writer, hundreds, thousands of letters. We have bunches of them. She would write letters to her kids who were living elsewhere. She writes the letter, it goes in the pouch, it goes to headquarters, it goes on a stage, and, weeks later, she gets a response. That was communication. And when the river was up, when the creek was up, when warriors were out on patrol, or weather was bad, it might delay your mail even further. Until the telegraph got here in the late 1870s, there was no instantaneous communication. The railroad and the telegraph were the two biggest issues that secured the West, along with the destruction of the buffalo herds. Without the buffalo herds, regrettably, tragically, the Native American lifestyle was doomed. Once the railroads came in, you could ship men and equipment anywhere on a day's notice. Once the telegraph crisscrossed the country, you could wire headquarters and get what you needed within seconds. Now, not like Amazon, you couldn't get it delivered, but at least you could keep communication open. Up until the telegraph, your communication only went as fast as a person could ride a horse. And sometimes that wasn't so fast.
Do you want to talk about this building?
Yeah, let's talk about this building.
We can head in.
We are standing in front of Officers' Quarters number 1, one of the 9 officers' quarters erected here at Fort Concho between 1868 and the late 1870s. Quarters were assigned by rank, not according to need, which is an old Army tradition. If you were a captain with 2 kids, you got a couple of rooms. If you were a colonel, you got the whole house. Didn't matter if you needed it or not, that wasn't the point. As the old joke goes, if the Army wanted you to have a family, it would have issued you one. So this particular set of quarters was the commanding officer's quarters. We call them number 1. The Army didn't give them numbers in those days. Across the street are the barracks, and at the end are the supply and the headquarters buildings. But this one is a special building because in 2 different renovations and a subsequent re-renovation, it was converted from a distressed building in the 1960s and 70s to quarters that we use for VIPs and special programs. Colonel Grierson lived here the longest between 1875 and 1882. He even built a small office on the side of the building so that he didn't have to walk down the road to headquarters, because the story goes that as he would walk down there, all the ladies of the garrison would come out and berate him that they needed things. So Grierson decided, the heck with that, I'm going to office up here. Maybe the first case of working from home, I guess, in the 1870s. It's a fun building. It's been around 150 years. It has alleged paranormal or ghost sightings from time to time. And I'm sure that you will be hearing more about that later in your program.
Ready to go in?
Sure. We are back in Officers' Quarters number 1, and over my shoulder is a portrait of a special lady, Edith Claire Grierson. Edith was a child of 11 years old and a little younger when she lived here with her family, Colonel Benjamin Grierson and wife Alice. Alice was mother of 5 eventually, and several of her kids lived in this building in the late 1870s. Edith is somewhat of a tragic story because in the summer of 1878 she contracted what we believe was typhoid fever, a common malady in those days due to poor food, poor sanitation, and poor water. Many things that we know today about germs and sanitation were unknown or ignored in those days, and she did contract typhoid. She got a high fever. She was bedridden in the upstairs east bedroom, and she rallied and failed over a 10-day period. Indeed, her mother convinced her husband, the colonel, to wire one of the nearby cities. We had a telegraph back then, and they brought in some chipped ice by pouch. Now, you're wondering, well, how did that happen? Why didn't they have ice here? Well, they didn't. They had no means of mechanically making ice in those days, and the winter weather was not sufficiently severe as it was in the Dakotas to take the ice off the lakes and rivers, chop it, wrap it in sawdust and overcloth and store it in basements. Just didn't happen here. So that was a big deal when they brought some ice to her, and her mother in a letter noted how pleased she was that Edith enjoyed the ice and it helped break her fever a bit. But alas, she was too far sick, and she passed away on 9 September 1878. Fast forward 125 years, in 2003, and in 2013, and in 2023, Fort staff and volunteers held several memorials for her here and at her burial place in the city cemetery west of town. She was originally buried in the Fort Cemetery, but in 1899 the Army decided it didn't like the way the cemetery was being cared for, and that was 10 years after the fort was abandoned. So the Army Quartermaster Corps removed all the bodies to San Antonio National Cemetery, except for one, and that was Edith. Because the post surgeon then had retired here in San Angelo, Dr. S.L.S. Smith, and he decided that Edith died here and she should stay here. And so she has a plot in the city cemetery, Fairmount Cemetery, which opened in 1893, on the central plot just on the other side of the gazebo. Sad to say...
You see that? Door just creak open.
Come on in.
You gotta love a good creaky door.
Sad to say, at the 2003, 2013, and 2023 events we held in Edith's honor, she did not appear, but that was okay. We figured maybe she was there in spirit. And she is one of the great stories of this building, but more importantly, she reflects an era that we need to be very aware of, particularly when it comes to childhood, to diseases, to health care, and to just the modern things in life that we take for granted. Childhood mortality was very high in those days. Now, if you made it to about 13 or 14, you usually made it to a pretty long life, but many kids did not. Things that I have had as a kid were virtually unknown to kids today. Chicken pox, mumps, measles, I had all three. Anyone my age did. Back then they were fatal. Typhoid was a definite problem. Dysentery, smallpox, yellow fever. You can go down the list. And all of these are virtually wiped out today, but they were part and parcel of life and death in this time period. The second point is Edith was a kid, and this place was not just a bunch of soldiers. There were women and kids, there were civilians. The fort was like a little community with drama and stories going day in and day out. But the irony for kids is this: they thought a frontier fort was the greatest playground in the world. They thought a fort was just the best place to be. You had horses and wagons and cannons going off and soldiers marching and activity all the time. And the soldiers doted upon the children. They thought kids were great. So kids really had the run of the place. And it wasn't all sadness. The frontier fort was truly a community of its own, and kids were a huge part of that.
What about experiences that people have had reported to have?
I'll give you one. It's the only one I'll give you because it's the one that I think really happened. I'm going to leave the names out. But there have been reported sightings of Edith in this building, and each story, of course, has its own merits, but the one I like the best, because I know the people, I'm going to leave their names out of it so they're not hounded by phone calls or emails, took place about 20-odd years ago. We had a new city employee, city official, come down to take his job, and he had his wife and kid with him. And I was asked if we could house him here at officers' quarters. One, until they could get settled and rent a house or an apartment or whatever. And I said, sure. Well, in the words of that bad English author, it was a dark and stormy night. It truly was. It was in the spring. There were tornado warnings across the territory, and these people were driving through the Panhandle down south, and if you know anything about the Panhandle, there's no place to hide, so they were ducking behind anything. They didn't get here till about 11 o'clock. Worn out and tired, and tornado sirens are going off, and so I walked them through the building and told them where the bathrooms were and here are the light switches, but I certainly didn't tell them anything about ghosts. I didn't think that was very appropriate. Well, after a couple of days, the gentleman said, we're going to move to a hotel because, they need a TV. There's no TV in here. And he said, my wife had the strangest experience. And I said, well, tell me about it. And he said, well, she claims that she saw a little girl, maybe a ghost. I said, okay. I handed him a picture of Edith and said, here, show this to your wife. Well, he came back the next day and said, my goodness, I showed her that picture and she freaked out. She screamed, that's the girl. That's the girl I saw at the base of the stairs. So I told this gentleman all about Edith, living at the fort, contracting typhoid, being sick, and dying on September 9, 1878. And all of a sudden he got a little squirrely, and I said, what's wrong? He said, well, we had our daughter with us when we stayed at the house. And I said, yeah. And he said, well, her birthday is September 9.
That's cool.
That's crazy. Is that the most common thing you would say people have like reported over the years? Is seeing something?
She's the house ghost. There's stories of soldiers, in the barracks, but I've never heard anything really credible. Any place this size is going to have all sorts of stories.
Right.
Any place that has the deep history and people is going to have stories. But the Edith story is my favorite. I mean, the September 9 thing is just too.
That's wild.
Weird. What are the odds? What are the odds?
What about daily life here inside of this building? Like, what were these rooms kind of used for, so we can show them?
They're pretty, as they're laid out. I mean, we don't know exactly how to do that. It's the dining room, kitchen. That's Grierson's office. This is the parlor or the front room. You have another bedroom. You get the 2 bedrooms upstairs. And they probably weren't appreciably different in the 1870s and 1880s. The building, when the Army left in 1889, fell into civilian hands, and there were generations of people who lived here. And then I think the Tom Green County Historical Society occupied it for many years after the fort bought it back. They eventually moved out to another meeting location, and then starting in the early 1990s, Fort Concho restored this to the way you see it today, with 2 subsequent restorations to fix things they didn't do on the first 2 runs.
What about, like, just in general, when it comes to the fort, how many people would have passed away here? I know that there's, like, a hospital here, and there were,
Okay, we can address
illness
that.
and death.
As we mentioned earlier, death is a part of life, and certainly with children, and certainly with adults. People died at the fort. Approximately 150 to 200, I would estimate, based on research over the 22 years. Not by anything dramatic. Sad to say, most of the soldier deaths were due to gastrointestinal issues or fevers or infections or things that today you and I could fix with a trip to the drugstore. Just sad but true. There were violent deaths, but most of those were accidental. Kicks by mules and horses, falling out of wagons, being hit by things. And one of the greatest, well, not greatest, one of the most common ways people died in those days, which will seem to be unfathomable today, is drowning. We didn't have the weather service then that we have today. And if people were going on camps or on patrols, they would usually pitch their tents near a water source. Makes sense. Well, a thunderstorm 5, 10, 15, or 20 miles away, or a deluge could drop, and you wouldn't know the water coming until it washed you away. Accidental drowning and drowning while crossing rivers and creeks was a very common form of death in those days. Most of these folks were buried in the Fort Cemetery, which was just west of us here, about 2 blocks. And then, as noted earlier, they were reinterred in San Antonio National in the late 1990s, early 1990s. Only Edith remains, and she's in the city cemetery at Fairmount on Avenue N. Mighty, that's Alice right here. That's Alice Grierson, of Edith's mother. Great lady. If you ever read her letters, she and her husband get into things that people don't even talk about today. There's hundreds of letters from Alice Grierson, and she writes it sometimes about things that, again, people don't even talk about today, like birth control.
That's really cool.
Unfortunately, there was a strain of insanity on her side of the family, and 2 of the children eventually did have mental illness problems, and they were always cognizant of that and worried, and they would talk about how they would deal with this if future children would come. They also lost a couple in infancy, and that was very common back then, sad but true. But she was a very blunt, very forceful, very strong woman. One of my favorite exchanges of letters with her and her husband was having a late midlife crisis. He hadn't been promoted in years, he was tired of his job, he was tired of the politics, and he just wrote one day, but he was thinking of getting out of the Army and doing something else, and his wife pretty much said, "Suck it up, this is all you know how to do, and we need the money." As we say in my household, support your husband, and that's what they did. But it just is a series of letters that are just wonderful to read because we forget these were people. These were people with emotions and problems and issues, and they dealt with them the very best way they could back then, just like we do today. And no, I haven't written my wife and said that I want to give up my job.
What's your favorite room in here? I just wanted to ask, like, is there any room?
If I have a favorite, I really don't have a favorite room in the building. The dining room is nice because that's where my future son-in-law proposed to my daughter, or at least went through the motions of the propriety, and he asked for her hand outside. But so that was nice. But the whole building, the whole fort, I don't have a favorite building either. The whole fort is my favorite. I've kind of grown up here. I started here when I was right out of graduate school and figured I might do 2 or 3 years and then beat it back east. Well, 40 years later, I'm still here. And I've been blessed with good people, good boards, great staff, wonderful volunteers, donors, supporters, visitors, and we have managed to pull this place back together and make it something special. So it's something to be proud of.
It's weird too, thinking about when we investigate these places, all the history and how somebody's contributions to a location goes on to not only in some people's minds become like a paranormal thing, but also the history lives. It's just weird to think that now you are the history of this place.
Let me address that. I noted earlier I've been here for a long time, and one thing that it teaches me is I'm standing always on the shoulders of great people. It's all part of a continuum. You want to keep moving forward. You want tomorrow to be better than today. And the only way that happens is you respect the past. And I have a deep respect for those who came before me in this job.
I agree 100%.
You can feel it. It's good energy here.
Well,
All right, everybody. So it's about 9:45 right now. We're here in the officers' quarters here at Fort Concho. And it's very interesting. There was quite the process to go through to be able to investigate this property. We had to work with the city of San Angelo, had to get specific insurance, get a film permit, jump through all these hoops, and it's weird to be standing here. Now, what's interesting is when you say like you're investigating a fort on tonight's episode, you'd imagine something like a fort, like stone and these old barracks and military style buildings. But the interior of this place is completely different. This reminds me more of the Lizzie Borden house than it would, a classic military fort. And that's because of that Victorian architecture that you can see throughout this building. And already Connor and I have just been setting up for the last 20 or 30 minutes. We've heard some things. Connor heard a whistle. We heard some knocking noises. And it definitely has a vibe. Now we're gonna step outside in a second and kind of walk around the fort, but we're the only ones on this entire property, the entire fort we have to ourselves. Even though we're only allowed to investigate this building, we're still the only ones here.
Really cool spot. I mean, we haven't really seen anybody do videos at this place, so we're really excited that we get to bring you guys along with this journey. It's honestly a really creepy vibe around here though. Not just the house, but just all around the house. I'm really excited to see what we come into contact with because, like I said, there hasn't been many people that are trying to talk to the spirits here. And so we don't really know what we're gonna get, but I have a feeling it's gonna be pretty good.
Yeah, I'll say, I think it's always interesting when there's one specific ghost, Like we can try contact Edith this whole night, and I don't know. He was kind of downplaying it during the interview, but there have been a lot of people that have seen this little girl's spirit inside of this home. Even on the fort property, there's people that have seen ghost soldiers. There's a specific officers' quarters that's a couple houses down that they've seen officers in there. People report phantom smells, phantom lights, screaming from the hospital. I mean, you have to imagine hundreds of deaths here, and a lot of them accidents, really brutal, painful stuff. It's not just, people dying of these horrible illnesses and sicknesses. It's he said, getting kicked and your ribs shattering, and all of a sudden you're coughing up blood and you're dead. Or something, you're building one of these buildings and a plank of wood just smacks you in the face. Back then, it's like a death sentence.
Oh yeah. I mean, a simple cut can be a death sentence too.
Yeah, right. Any infection And it's also interesting, like he said, yeah, it was like boring out here for the soldiers, but think of what that means for the property. Like that stain of this desperation.
Losing your mind too.
Yeah, losing your sanity. You can't talk to anyone, you're isolated. It's like lonely and depressing. I feel like that leaves a heavy stain on a property and like the buildings here.
Very much so.
Especially since so many of the buildings are here in their original. But before we start tonight, we're gonna go outside and kind of look around because we haven't really taken you guys out there. Let's go take a look.
All right.
You should grab the key first. You got it? Wait, check this out.
What?
Listen how quiet it is out here.
It is eerie.
Silent. Like I said before, we're the only people on this property right now. This is all Fort Concho. As you can see over there, those are the old barracks where the soldiers would stay. But these are all the old officers' quarters. And then at the end, there's a bigger building, and the hospital, I think, is around here too. What are you thinking?
It's weird. I like when I come to places like this, I like to take a step back and think about like what was it like during that time. I mean, if they're not fighting anybody, they're probably a couple guys sitting up here on the porch, just hanging out, wasting away, losing their mind.
Kind of like this.
Oh, the old stagecoach will be here tomorrow, Jebediah.
What do you think they'd be saying right now?
I think they'd be saying, "Oh, I sure wish I had some toilet paper."
Was that even invented? No.
I think they'd say, "God, I really haven't had a meal in a while." I wonder what Bessie's doing back home. I sure do miss it.
Yeah, this is
Sorry if that's offensive to any spirits.
Yeah, sorry guys. Look at this though. It's kind of a creepy ass little house. Can you see that through the night vision if you put it up there? That piano's pretty sick. So, like I said, one of these...
It said don't shout.
Don't shout.
Yeah.
Run away, don't shout. Jesus. Oops.
Scared me.
One of these officers' quarters, I don't know which one, but is also supposed to be haunted by one of the more prominent figures here. I can't remember his name. He was one of the figures in the history of this fort who led some of the charges and commanded the troops here during their slaughters of indigenous folks. And he actually, unfortunately, was the commander at the time when they brought those 123, or I can't remember the exact number, however many indigenous women and children, and imprisoned them here before shipping them off to Oklahoma. So there's also that dark reputation here of things that they really don't want to talk about.
Real quickly before we move forward, I want to talk about a small slice of history that was, I believe, glazed over during our initial interview. So Fort Concho, even though it did a lot of good for Texas, also played a significant role in the genocide and displacement of local indigenous tribes, particularly the Comanche and Kiowa, through its military campaigns. For example, in September of 1872, Colonel Ronald S. McKenzie led troops from Fort Concho in an attack on a Comanche camp. During this attack, soldiers from Fort Concho killed 23 indigenous warriors and captured 127 women and children. And unfortunately, there weren't good things in store for those women and kids. Those prisoners were then marched to Fort Concho, where they were imprisoned in the stone corral through the winter before they were sent to the Indian reservation near Fort Sill, Oklahoma in the spring of 1873. Now, the stone corral where those women and children were held over the winter months was typically used for holding horses or supplies. It would have been incredibly cold and uncomfortable. It probably lacked proper sanitation and medical care, and given the harsh winter conditions and the vulnerability of women and children, it's plausible that some of those who were imprisoned there may have died from exposure, disease, or malnutrition. However, no specific records document the number of deaths during that imprisonment, which has made it hard for historians to confirm exact figures. But you think about it. These women and children that were imprisoned there at Fort Concho for months had just watched their husbands and fathers slaughtered right before their very eyes, before they were taken captive by the people that murdered their dad. Now, war has a lot of intricacies. To me, this is a horrific slice of history that we've seen repeated all across the United States, and I can't even imagine the suffering that those people went through, not only after that slaughter, but throughout their imprisonment and eventual relocation all the way to Oklahoma. Obviously, there are indigenous spirits all around us in America, but are there tortured souls at Fort Concho left over from events just like that? What other history do we not know about the fort that was never written down or recorded? And could a protective indigenous energy be haunting the grounds of the fort after witnessing what it did hundreds of years ago? Well, we're going to get into all of that in a little bit, but first, let's get back to the investigation.
Brought to you by Verizon.
What the hell? Oh my god. Oh, your reflection just scared me. I saw Connor in the mirror or the window. Yeah, this is interesting. I wonder why just this building is in ruins. Another officer's quarters, private residence.
Night.
I mean, look at this. How crazy is it?
It is kind of crazy to think just about, like, when he was saying these houses weren't really built out of wood because there's no trees around here.
Yeah, right.
I mean, out here in, like, northwest-ish Texas, it's pretty much, like, the biggest tree you'll find is, like, mesquite.
This entire fort, essentially, is like a paranormal battery with the materials it was constructed with. Limestone being a material that people suggest holds in energy. That's pretty much the stone tape theory of repeating energy. It comes from limestone studies.
But, I mean, also, that's the stone that's, like, under us right now, too.
It's kind of eerie up there. You see that?
Yeah. Little rocking chair.
I always just think,
Standing up there in the window looking at you.
like, what if? I mean, how sick would that be to see someone up there, like, looking at your ass?
Then we go to bed.
Yeah.
We've solved the case.
Yeah, then
Our
we'd
ghosts.
be like, damn, we're in the wrong building.
God damn it. You scared the shit out of me. I was trying to get a good shot. Asshole.
This whole time we've been walking, I've been thinking, how am I going to scare Connor? And the opportunity just presented itself. It
You've
was
just
so
been thinking
natural.
about that the whole time?
Yeah. Ever since we left the door.
They're all like basically the same building.
I know. Almost cookie cutter. But some of them just seem creepier than others. Like, this one definitely seems creepier than the other ones. And ours definitely has an energy to it.
Oh, 100%.
Look at that. Now that's a spooky shot. I love the look of these buildings.
Ripped.
I know, it looks like a haunted house. Like, each and every one of these on this row, it's interesting, since they were all residences, it's like they're each their own haunted house. So you have like a whole neighborhood of empty haunted houses right here.
Like, these were just officers' quarters. All of those were like barracks for the troops.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's what they called them back then, but
And all the deaths here. And interesting, all the bodies too that were buried here and they were moved. I wonder if the spirits,
the fact that they were moved.
they never seem to like that. I think this is like the schoolhouse.
It's really creepy thinking just like all of these buildings are just like empty.
Where are they?
Very true. Okay, so
The energy drink's starting to kick in, boy. So, on a campus like this, if you want to imagine a place that would be a magnet for death and misery and suffering, it would definitely be the hospital building, because if any soldier really died of a disease or they had an accident, this is where obviously they would be taken, and emergency surgeries and all the people that died from disease would have been in this building. And according to people online, this is one of the spots in the fort that's extremely haunted. Ooh, look at that. Yeah, that's a little creepy.
you wanna like
I mean, think about it though. We've been walking around for like... This clip is almost 20 minutes and we haven't seen one car passed by. Obviously, there's no one around here too. It's f***ing weird. Like
It's
these are the
really
only
creepy.
people here. Oh my god, what do you think this was?
I think that's newer.
I think it's giving me pure evil vibes.
I don't want to go over there. Mid 1900s.
Yo, you know what? If you're watching this video right now, why don't you comment and tell us what you think this building was, and we'll find out, and I'll put it at the end of the video.
What's your guess?
You know, I'd say storage shed, but it's got like windows. Maybe like a schoolhouse.
I say a nice storage shed with windows.
All right. Could also be torture shack.
But at the same time, having like a skeleton key lock on just like a storage building.
Yeah, right. Ooh, this building looks creepy as hell from back here. Look at that.
Just got chills.
If there's anybody here in the hospital,
Who are you?
who are we? My name's Colin.
My name's Connor.
If there's anybody here at Fort Concho, whether you're in the old hospital building, maybe you just died somewhere on these grounds, you're congregated out here, follow our lights and our voices and come join us in officers' quarters number 1.
Yeah, you don't have to be afraid of us. We don't want to hurt you. We don't want you to hurt us. Kids, adults, soldiers, anybody who wants to talk, come to the officers' quarters.
I gotta say though, when you really think about it, it's weird. Like, no one's here. And think about it. When you usually investigate a haunted property, you get one building. But right now, we're technically talking to the energies from like a hospital, a school, an army fort, and then all of these haunted houses.
Yeah, you can trust us.
There you go.
Even before this was a barracks too. I mean, this is Native American land.
True.
So, thousands of years of history.
Well, something I think about is like, so the soldiers said they took however many 120 or so women and children. It's like, what if one of them died, you know?
Yeah.
Something happened. I don't know if they'd necessarily write that sort of a thing down.
I don't think they'd want to. Bad secrets.
Really? It just said
Bad secrets. After talking about taking the women here and marching them around the barracks.
and how many people they wouldn't have reported died. Alright, so we were just getting some B-roll and look at what it said. Bad secrets, 600 years.
Evade capture.
So, do you take that as indigenous?
I feel like that'd be indigenous spirits.
Evade, capture, bad secrets, 600 years.
I mean, nobody else but natives were around here 600 years ago.
It's pretty interesting, right after we talked about that too. Okay, just a note, I wanted to catch this while we're setting up. The device said, only child, no name, unwanted.
Oh, remember? The woman had like a couple miscarriages.
Mm-hmm. It's interesting. Even the only child spirit here, unwanted by the adults.
Who's there? Can you come into the parlor room with us?
It's literally...
My body's around you.
Her body was left around here.
Closer.
Cloister like a nun. Here, I'm switch cameras. In a museum. Did you see this? In a museum, final day positioning. This is a museum.
You coming back in here? To whoever's in the house with us right now, I want to introduce ourselves. My name's Connor.
My name's Colin.
You don't have to be afraid of us. We're just here to hang out and have conversation with you guys. We don't want to hurt you. Just being friendly. It's a T.
T? Said tell darkest times. T.
Like we can tell the darkest times over like a cup of tea.
Mm-hmm. Says the parlor.
Did you want a cup of tea? Can you come and touch this light next to me? And just come and touch it just like this. It won't hurt you.
Edith, if you're here with us, we just want to hang out and play some games. We actually brought some games that you can play with us if you just show us that you're here. You know, one thing that I would love to see is if you could push one of those balls that's on the stairs.
God, this scared me.
What is that?
Steven.
How? How to push one of those balls down the stairs? Process.
Just use all the energy you can and put it up against that ball. See if you can push it. Can you do that? Is there an officer here?
It was written. Remember how he said that she wrote right there? She wrote like hundreds, thousands of letters.
Please go left.
You mean into the kitchen? I keep hearing like noises from the kitchen.
I know.
Weirdly enough.
If you want us to go into the kitchen, can you make one? Can you come touch one of these lights? Make it go off? I remember my funeral.
The little girl. Stay here. Go left or stay here. Edith E.D. Grierson.
We don't mean harm.
Dude, right when I said her full name, I had to look up her last name. That comes right behind me.
I just went away.
Oh, dude, I actually got goosebumps from that. Oh, dude, my hair's actually standing on
see
end.
it.
That's weird.
Edith, are you here with us right now?
Whoever's standing right here, you can come in here. Just come grab my hand and come in.
I'm making it cold.
Right when I said it feels like a chill, I'm making it cold.
Mm-hmm.
Now, somebody is right here, and you just came into this room. Can you please make a noise or tap on something or move something in here? I'd love to see those balls come down the stairs. Do anything for us in here just to let us know that you're here.
Watch what I do. Do it. It's back.
All right, if you're coming in, can you knock something down in this room or knock on something like this?
Am I really dead?
Did you hear that knock? Am I really dead? First? That was really good.
Is that you, Edith?
Where did that come from?
I don't know.
It's kind of hard to tell in here. If you could knock again too, that would be incredible.
I'm with my family.
Are they all here? Someone's just standing right there.
Edith, is your whole family here?
Look to the right.
Bro, that's not me. Or it could be you too.
It's gone.
What's to the right? Wife? Could that mean? Cause
I wonder if she would want to write something.
ooh, that's interesting actually.
Alice, is that you?
Hear that? 2 knocks. It's weird because it's like I'm with my family, only child. It's like Edith is here, but then right there, it's like every time I say her name, Scarlet. But then she said it says wife, so maybe Benjamin, her dad's here, and he's like protective of her.
Mirror.
Is that that?
You hear like a piano note after that? Who's over in the dining room? Could you pull out one of those chairs and come sit by us?
It said scarlet, and I was like, isn't there like a thing called like scarlet fever? I don't know if that was
Yeah,
like big back then. But
definitely was.
I looked at the symptoms, and it's like pretty much everything he said that
Cyrus.
she had.
That's interesting, actually.
Follow us behind you
I know.
into the office.
Or is it telling us? Which direction? Can you give us a sign? Should we go to the office or the stairs? There's like weird vibes from that dining room too. Who's in the dining room?
Count to 10.
Count to 10, sharp.
Alright.
Is he gonna throw a knife at us?
That'd be pretty scary.
My God, imagine just
Alright.
fucking stabbed. In the
Count to 10.
All right, whatever you're gonna do, we're gonna count to 10. So try to do it. All right. 1,
2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
I keep thinking I'm hearing whispering.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
All right, Edith, or whoever's here, we're gonna count to 10. One more time. Do what you want to after 10. What? This door is so trippy. The one way down there, I don't even think the camera can really see it, but it keeps looking like it's moving to me. Ritual here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. My friend.
Did you hear that?
Yeah.
Like,
Oh, dude. Oh, dude, I was just saying I got the fucking goosebumps up my arms again.
Demonic.
What the fuck? Yo.
I could have sworn behind me. I heard like,
I mean, I'm not shitting you. All my hair's on end all of a sudden.
I just got a really uneasy feeling.
I know. That's weird. It like.
1600s?
Outside, 600 years.
I will go.
My friend, I will go.
Where do you want us to go?
I mean,
Why did I say it like that? Where do you want us to go? You are aware of me.
yeah. It's like either a little girl or a demon, I guess. Where do you want us to go?
Go. Where do you want us to go?
It's like upstairs. Bro.
Upstairs.
I love it.
That'd be pretty cool.
So it's not beard. Are you talking about me? Could you give us a sign if you can see me? I always wonder if spirits can actually see us. So it sounded like the knock came from in there.
The officer.
There's like oh, dude, the other side. What the hell?
Where are you going?
Or maybe that means we heard it from the wrong way.
Hi.
Hi?
Everett.
Everett? Well, that sounds 1800s. There's been a ton of noises in here. And dude, I'm getting that goosebump chill again.
I'm getting like a nauseous feeling in my stomach.
Is your name Everett? Evil here. Battery. Like a military term? Okay, but that is weird. Rituals, evil here, demon. I mean, could it have something to do with like indigenous? Like something that happened hundreds of years ago?
Yeah.
What do you mean by evil here? What do you mean, Edith? Or whoever's here?
Manipulation.
Here.
Manipulation here. Well, so I'm not gonna allege anything here, but I will say, like, the number one thing people say is a darker entity is when it's a child. You know, I know there's a ton of people out there watching this video right now that don't even believe in children's spirits. So I know some of you guys watching this already think that, but I mean, it is weird. Manipulation here, evil here, out of place, rituals, forgiveness.
I also am wondering, because I mean, for the Christian people that are coming out here and they were seeing like what Native Americans are practicing religiously, they see it as demonic.
Yeah, right. I'm telling you.
The land is mine.
What? Yo, show that. Show that.
The land is mine. When I'm talking about Native Americans.
Dude, what if this is like an indigenous spirit here?
Well, I mean, that's what I've been alluding to kind of the whole night. Before these barracks were here, before anybody was settled here, this was an all Native American land. And so they're saying this land is mine. These white people come in, killing all the Native Americans here, but they see them doing is demonic, and they've taken over this land. Patience, did you hear us? Yeah, we heard you. Many.
That is an interesting theory, you know? Like, even with the people who...
Impale.
Impale? There's some negative stuff. If you think about, like, even that one infamous event that one of the generals or whatever he was commanded over, where they went in and slaughtered all of these men in this tribe. So, like, these women and these kids' dads, they just butchered them and then took the wives and kids and put them here. It's like, what if it's the soul of somebody who died during one of those events?
I was last.
Or what if it's someone who's like trapped here? Or what if it's even like an ancient indigenous spirit that followed them as like a protector?
I mean,
Could have been a spirit that was on this land before they even came and is just pissed.
Well, I mean, like,
Dude, there's a ton of noises, actually.
like a lot of Native Americans, like, believe the spirits will stay on the land and like the place where their ancestors was. It's sacred lands. And I mean, this looks nothing like they had it.
What the?
Are you back there?
Oh, I'm getting the chill again. Cursed. What
God.
God cursed? Bro, I got the willies, dude. Oh, I got actually
Me too.
all up and down my body chills. So, we're gonna move to a new room pretty soon. But let's do a little test. If you see these little red lights, like the little flames, try to go touch them. Can you show them how to do it?
Just like that. Just go up and touch it. We have one up here on the fireplace. We have one here next to me, and we have one over there in the doorway.
If this is Edith or a member of Edith's family, can you go touch one of those or give us a sign?
I'm kind of freaked right now. Your family.
I just said a member of your family, Edith's family. So I think we have either Edith, it's so good to have you here, or one of your family members, but do we have one of the...
Children.
Alright, so Edith is here.
Is there any Native Americans here?
Farmer. An indigenous, like, farmer guy who's pissed that they took his land away?
I don't know if it was Apache or Cherokee or who's here.
Should we play a Comanche song and see what happens before we pause? Oh.
You want me to do it? I'm from the 1300s.
Oh my god.
What did this say?
I'm finding it difficult. California. Farmer pushed California. Like they pushed him out of here?
They did push them out of here.
Yeah. Shinning Larry. I'm finding it difficult. One more time. We still have a lot of questions and time left, but should we go over to the office over there that we've been hearing noises from? Or the kitchen? Let's walk over there and then we can go into the quarters. Okay. All right, so we keep hearing noises from back here. Is there anyone here?
It feels like... It feels different, like a void back here.
Mm-hmm.
Like it feels thick as f*** in there.
Yeah.
Disgust.
Like, gross.
Don't leave me.
Right when we left the room.
Who is it? Edith, if that's you, you can make a noise in there and we'll come back. Feels like nothing back here.
I know. You want us to go back there? It's weird. I'm like on edge here. Hello?
Stay out the forest. There's no forest.
Stay.
Stay out the forest and stay?
Is there someone out there? What the fuck? I'm scared.
Holy shit, man. Oh my god, you scared me.
Not paranormal.
Not paranormal?
No, so just paranormal.
Oh my god. Pull paranormal.
Oh my god, that's
Dude, you scared the shit out of me, bro. That little whip you just
I'm like,
did?
fuck it, that someone was in my ear.
What the f was that though?
I don't know.
Can you do that one more time? Hung?
They hear me scream.
You were being followed.
And they hear me scream, and then out there, remember earlier it said something about screaming. There's a ton of noises
I know.
out there, actually. Like, it's so weird, because when we were here, it's like, when we were out there, I swear to God, they were
It was
coming
in
from
here.
here. Alright, we're gonna come back out. And honestly, it's like way creepier in here than I thought it was gonna be. And yes, Connor and I did enjoy Fruit Loops with marshmallows and milk before we started filming.
So good. Whoa. Did you hear that?
What was it?
Like,
No. What's that? Footsteps. What the fuck, dude? Yo, that was the loudest f***. Oh, dude, I get a bad vibe in this room.
in this room?
I guess this, but like right here. I feel like weird. I feel like nauseous almost.
I'm kinda scared now.
It's kind of weird.
Don't do that.
Ugh.
What's this?
Challenge.
Youngest daughter can't help.
What?
Can't help youngest daughter.
Youngest daughter can't help terror.
Edith. Edith, are you here?
The graves.
Should we go upstairs?
Is there someone on the stairs? Okay, we can go upstairs, but let's go walk into that officer's quarter.
Surprise.
Oh my god.
Surprise.
it doesn't feel like it's in here.
I know, it's weird.
It's like it's staying away from us. It's like just getting close enough to freak us out.
But this is like a good seance table. Looks like. If only we had like a Ouija board. Oh, we could do the automatic writing in here.
Good. You want to do that now?
Sure.
I enjoyed it.
Oh, she enjoyed writing? That's pretty interesting, honestly. So while we paused, defeated gossip always here. It said, battle, cross, we fought here, desolation. And these, both that REM pod and the other one went off. Common. But if you remember during our interview, Alice, Edith's mother, Benjamin's wife, who lived here and had a long, happy life here, she wrote constantly, and she wrote a ton. So we figured that something cool to do would be to try some automatic writing here in the house. So we've got this dry erase board, some markers. So basically, Connor's gonna ask some questions, and I'm just gonna kind of sit here and meditate and close my eyes, hope that something happens. And the way that I do automatic writing is, if I have a thought that pops into my head, I just write it down like a stream of consciousness. So I'm not saying that it's a ghost whispering into my ear. This is like a psychological paranormal experiment. That's all that this is an experiment. So it's not 100% proof of ghosts. It's just something that we've tried before. So I'm just gonna kind of close my eyes and get into it. Before we get going, is there somebody here in the room with us? Alice, are you here? That natural drone tone is kind of perfect for meditation. And then after I'm done, I'll have you do this. All right. Right now I'm inviting any spirit or energy that's here to come in and use my hand as your hand for a minute. Use my mind as your mind and tell me what you're thinking, how you're feeling. You can come into my body for a moment to write this stuff out. My energy is your energy. I just smell like smoke or like sulfur, like charcoal-y. How strange.
Edith, are you here with us right now?
I also see things sometimes.
Is there any indigenous spirits here?
Seem like a snake.
In the name of death.
Oh. How many spirits are here with us?
I was treated bad.
Respiratory. Edith, is this you talking about that you weren't taken care of medically?
The wall.
There was no wall. Can you tell me what your name is?
Find my body.
Did you die in this house? Did you die in the barracks? Did you die outside of the base?
I will appear.
Where are you?
I won't lie to you.
Are you angry? Your name's Chester? Is there anything you want to tell us?
Courage.
Were you courageous?
I have regrets. I died in the war.
Oh shit.
Carpet.
Strange.
Yeah, that's creepy, man. That was really weird. Like, this no stuff. I just had the desire to write no. Like, that's it looks so trippy. But this, when I was writing no, it was freaky, man. It felt like
I've been here 600 years.
600 years again.
That was on a completely different device. We weren't even using Spirit Talker.
So it's like an ancient. I mean, this no shit is really weird. And what was really weird is I first started to see a snake. And so I saw this snake. And what did I write? There to with. I can't even remember what I wrote.
I can't read it.
I remember and the gold. Something about the snake.
Remember the snake?
Yeah, remember the snake and the gold. And then Chester popped into my head. And then just the word no over and over. And this one was creepy. I'm coming. I like saw the words in my mind. And then I can't remember what any of this, but these were little messages. Bled out.
There's a little like moon at one point. Like a little crescent moon.
A tragedy, eternity bled out.
And then I died in the war.
That's
I have
crazy.
regrets. Courage.
I've been here 600 years. There's like a bunch of different spirits here. There's Edith.
Remember
We'll
who
just call him
Chester
Chester. Maybe he's a soldier who died.
Yeah.
And then there's this ancient 600-year thing. But when I was writing the nose out, it really felt like I was writing it, and dude, I was getting like very cold and like kind of like really into the thing.
Malice.
Malice, like negative, because that's what I was about to say.
fled.
I fled, and it felt like there was somebody. I swear to God, like coming like this, and like I felt like what I was seeing was hands made out of tree branches, like going like this.
It's creepy.
And I'm also footstep upstairs. Well, it's your turn. Let's erase the whiteboard. Let's erase the automatic writing. There you go, little snake. See you later, buddy boy.
Buddy, what?
I don't know.
Is there anybody out there?
Skull?
All right. Anybody here that wants to talk through me, you can use my hands to write down whatever you want. You can give me visions in my head to show me what you want me to write. I invite you to use my hands and my mind.
All right, so Chester was here.
Alaric.
Alaric. I want to try to speak with the creature thing. Navy, another like army term. Who or what is the protector spirit that seems to be protecting this area?
Hatred.
Oh, fuck. Hatred. Can you try show yourself to him so he can see what you look like and manifest it? Oh, dude, I got a cold in here all of a sudden. I keep thinking I'm gonna see something back there. So you're the spirit of hatred. What do you hate? Can you tell me what you hate?
I'm seeing like a wall.
That's very interesting. It feels not so good in here. What do you hate? You don't like the wall? Shoulder. Can I see you over my shoulder? You could always try to shut that door too. That would be interesting to see. If you don't want us to go back into the house, why don't you shut that door?
K.
Hey, oh, the spirit of hatred is here.
I'm seeing like static right now.
Dude, the temperature's actually dropping like quite a bit in here. Who is this? Can you identify yourself? Priest? What the f***? You're a priest? Or does that mean like a religious figure in that culture?
I want you out.
Oh, dude. It's f***ing cold in here, guys. I got the goosebumps again. Who is this? Or what are you? If you want us out, try to shut that door or make a really loud noise or set off one of our toys. What are you showing him? Praised? Priest praised? So you're something that people would worship?
Frequent.
Purified frequent? Praised? Purified frequent? What the f*** is that, dude? That is starting to creep me out a little bit. Is that like a f***ing hand?
Elijah.
Elijah. Your name's Elijah? Are you a human, Elijah? So the spirit of hatred who's praised and who helped purify, you want us out. Can you show him why you want us out or what you are? Male. Crazy, that's Alice. Yeah, you said the word male. Alice wrote a lot of mail and letters. And she used to live here. Do you remember her? Who is this? Tell him your name. Tell the guy who's drawing and writing your name.
What the f*** is this thing?
Are you done?
I started getting my f***ing like brains hurting from the fumes.
Hunting.
Hunting. Flip that around. Dude, look at the creepiest vibes from back here. Dude, what the f is that, bro? Hold it up a little closer. Bro, that's hella freaky. What the f that is? Yo, that's like some avant-garde. pretty creepy shit. What the hell? What were you trying, like, what was it showing you?
And honestly, like, it wasn't, I felt like it wasn't really showing me anything. It was just kind of like guiding my hand.
You know, I gotta say, dude, that is very creepy.
This is the first time I've done this.
Yeah, I don't really know what to make of that. If anybody who's watching this video knows what that is, do you think that's what's haunting this place?
I don't know.
C.
If it is, that's scary.
C.
I mean, at first, I kept seeing these and they were like eyes that were like spirals. And then it was a fence. Which I don't know the significance of that here. They didn't have fences. And then, I don't know, this is when an arrow, but this is when it started to kind of turn into static for me.
We like to be left alone.
It started to be static right around here, and then it just felt like, I mean, my hand was just kind of going where it wanted to.
I mean, that looks like a 4, 5, 6-legged creature.
I don't like that.
I know, me either. That's really bizarre, dude. What kind of vibe did you get from it?
Is this an eye?
That's what it looks like, an eye
And
and
then
a
a
mouth.
mouth? What the fuck is that? Hair?
Or like horns. What kind of vibe did it give you?
It was creepy. That's for sure.
Yeah, I can see that. Well, I guess that thing's here with us tonight.
Hello, doggy.
Demon dog.
Demon dog.
Is that true? Is that kind of what you look like?
What if it's like a fucking skinwalker?
You know, it does look like a skinwalker.
I've never seen one, but
I mean, yeah, that's what I'm assuming.
if they look like this, I don't want to.
Yeah, me either. So is that true? Did he draw what you were trying to show him? You could say yes or touch one of those red lights. Make a noise.
That's really scary.
Dude,
This
That
like
was
got
creepy
a
as
little bit,
hell.
then-
what? Yo, that's wild. That hasn't gone off this whole time except for the very beginning. End. And it just said end, E-N-D.
Infernal.
You know, a patient. Dude, I just got huge goosebumps wave again. So, one more time. That's true that this is what you were trying to show him? This is what that protector spirit looks like?
This guy would keep me from doing anything bad to the land, that's for damn sure. I'm not touching anything. Like, oh, by the way, let me go plant some trees tomorrow.
Dude,
I really don't like that.
me either. That's really creepy. What's that? Alright, we're gonna go upstairs now. Is there anything else you could do or say for us before we're done with this experiment? I thought I heard like a little groan or some shit.
Does this guy have a name?
Static.
Oh, what? Yo, that's crazy as hell.
Gave me full body chills.
That's crazy as fuck. You're saying it's made out of static, bro. This thing is made out of static.
Oh, dude.
Yo, that's creepy.
I just get uneasy feeling.
Dude. You literally said it's
Everything
like made out
went
of
static.
And that's how you started drawing this thing. Static.
I'm seeing like static right now.
Dude, the temperature's actually dropping like quite a bit in here.
I don't know. This is when an arrow, but this is when it started to kind of turn into static for me.
We like to be left alone.
It started to be static right around here, and then it just felt like, I mean, my hand was just kind of going where it wanted to. Does this guy have a name?
Static.
Oh!
I don't like that.
That's pretty insane, brother. So your name is Static? One more question. What are you? Shopkeeper.
Vitality.
It had vitality.
What the f? What the f?
Dude,
No!
that.
Bro.
I don't want to go out there.
Hello?
But then
I
again,
like the toys.
what if it's trying to keep us in here though?
That's so creepy. What are the f***ing odds? If it sits there the whole f***ing time, bro, what are the f***ing odds of that?
I don't like it, that's for sure. Hello?
That's so creepy, dude. I do not like that at all. Oh, we were like,
That mean it's trying to keep us in here though?
I don't know. I really don't know.
Oh my god, it's gonna like make me sick.
Epidemic. Dude, when that happened, we were so, you and I were both so creeped, we didn't even move. What the What the Do you notice
It's
that?
close by.
My body is close by.
My heart's beating out.
Dude,
my
me too.
chest.
I'm freaked out. I don't want to go out of the room now. Like, look at this shit. This door stop, I guess, somehow shifted, and this door creaked shut. Which is crazy, bro. You got that on camera, too. Like, you got it happening behind me. Look, it had to have been like this. Maybe it just wasn't in, like, very well.
Before time.
What did it say?
Before time.
I can't remember what it looked like. It had to have been like this, though. Dude,
That creaky door is up.
the timing of that happening was f***ed up. I'm not gonna say
I feel so uneasy right now, dude.
I'm not gonna say that's 100% paranormal because I don't know. It could be just weird, but I don't know. It wasn't even like a freaky energy in here, and it's like really freaky. And that was so goddamn funny because when that happened, we both just sat there filming each other, like did not move at all.
See what I was saying. too.
I could just hear
You
it,
just heard it.
and it's like that's kind of funny because that's what we always say. Like if we saw a ghost, like legit saw one when we were filming, I probably would be too freaked out to even like film it. You know, that was
I'm like, I don't want to move. If we don't move, they can't see us.
God damn, now I'm doomed. Bro, now I'm creeped out to even go back out there.
Yeah.
We gotta
sure we have to
sleep
sleep
here.
in different rooms. Definitely don't want to go out there without a flashlight.
My heart's actually like racing
I
from
know.
that was so creepy, dude. All right, before we go, is there anything else you'd like to do? If that really was you, that just try to shut that door.
Also, I revoke my permission to use my hands in my brain.
Saying you can't do that anymore.
God. Me, dude. God damn it. We haven't even been upstairs yet.
This got creepy as hell, especially with that weird ass static shit. That's so goddamn creepy.
Me just saying everything went static and then I drew that.
Yeah.
Went upstairs, that's where I'm sleeping.
It's like footsteps.
Oh my god.
Alright, let's go up there. F it. Okay, so right now we're in the room where Edith or Edie died. It was in this room where she passed, and we've had a really interesting night so far with, what was the name that came through that I wrote?
Chester?
A man named Chester. It seems like some of Edith's family, Edith herself, and even this, like, I guess, ancient static spirit of hatred. Which is, if anyone knows what that might be, please do let us know. But of course, right before we started rolling,
REM pod.
that REM pod was going off. If there's anybody here with us before we start, Edith, if you're here, we'd love to hang out and just play and get to know you. If there is somebody here, can you give us a sign and show us that you're here by maybe knocking on something, saying something out loud? You can go push those balls on the stairs down. I set up some toys on the stairs if you want to play with them. So quiet.
Edith, can you come touch one of these lights that you see around the room? You don't have to be afraid of us. We're not trying to hurt you.
It's so still.
I know.
Alright. We're gonna ask a couple questions to the voice recorder. Whoever's here with us, can you say very clearly out loud your name?
What was the creature that I drew?
What is the thing that's protecting this land and doesn't want us in here?
Is there a lot of Native American spirits here?
Who else is inside of this house? Edith?
Are there any soldiers here?
Edith, do you have a game that you like to play or you want to play? Alright. And now, let's listen. I swear I did hear Edith. What the f? I almost feel like it's me. What the f? Yo. What did you ask?
What was the creature that I drew?
I almost hear like, I might be tripping, but it's the static or something like that.
You have to listen to that with headphones on.
I heard it's a creature, it's a creature. What the hell was that? Oh, it's you. It scared me.
Someone's whispering it. What the f is this? Whatever it is, it's talkative. I just can't hear it.
Yeah, that was a lot of voices.
Yeah.
Like a lot. It's a little creepy.
Yeah.
Anybody else in here who wants to do anything?
And that's just completely silent.
It's way too quiet. It's weird. It's like dead quiet up here.
know.
Like no noise. Well,
I'm gonna have to make sure I turn up my rain noises very loud.
you want to do this?
Sure.
All right.
Hey everybody, it's Colin here. Thank you for watching today's video. Hello to all the new subscribers and hello to the rest of our beautiful, wonderful, spooky family. As you know, every single week here on the channel, we give away a free gift bag to one lucky viewer of the show. And this week, to enter the contest, all you have to do is like today's video, let's smash that like button, and comment creepy in the comment section below. I'm going to give y'all 10 seconds to do this now. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. So go comment. You can comment multiple times. It helps the video so much. But anyways, let's get back to today's video. Thank you for listening to my little spiel. I love you guys so much, and stay spooky.
Moment we stopped filming. Literally the moment. Could you touch that? If you see that red, can you touch that, please? What the f? The moment that we're about to do that.
These are all new batteries too.
Mm-hmm. Brand new. Like bought them tonight at a store. That's bizarre, dude.
Can you stop touching that? Sometimes you ask questions like that and you hope that nothing happens. That was kind of one of them.
Edith? Are you in here with us? I'd love to see you move something in here. You could really make us happy. How about that lamp next to it? Can you push that off the table?
I know.
Or maybe move one of those balls in the hallway? Alright, I'm gonna go get the Estes stuff. Alright, so to finish this off, we're having Connor go under for the Estes. We're here in the room where Edith died, and there's a lot of questions that we have that we're gonna ask. So yeah, I think it's time. If there's anybody here, no matter who you are, we want to talk to you.
You can talk to me through this device, and I will say whatever I hear.
Alright.
Alright.
I'm gonna flip that screen. Alright, whoever's here, we've been speaking all night. Remember, my name's Colin. That's Connor. Can you introduce yourself?
You can.
I can introduce myself? I already did that. Can you do it now?
Yeah, I'm out there.
Who is this?
5, of course.
There's 5 people in here? Chester, Edith, Edith's parents, and the protector spirit?
It's going to be cool.
What's going to be cool?
They prophesied.
What did they prophesize?
Hold me.
You mean like you need a hug?
Go ahead, baby.
I don't think this is Edith. Can you tell me your name?
I just heard a wolf, like, ooh.
That's pretty interesting. Are you like a wolf spirit? We did see a coyote earlier
It
tonight.
hurt.
Her? You're a woman? Or a female energy?
Sit back.
Well, we're going to tonight because we're sleeping here. I just want to figure out what the thing is that's protecting this place.
Gunshot.
Somebody who was killed? I know someone said they died.
It's me.
Oh, it's you. Is this Chester?
Get out. That voice is creepy.
So no, this is the protector spirit, or it's both. What the f? The battery just died on that thing.
Did you miss the door?
We saw the door, but
Careful.
who is this?
I'm inhuman.
What do you mean by that? What are you?
Kind of.
What are you then?
The hate.
Oh, that's crazy. So who or what are you? The hate.
Yeah.
What do you mean by that though? You are the hate. What does that mean? And who do you hate?
6 decades old.
60 years
I'm
old.
thirsty.
60 years old, but you keep saying 600 years old and you're thirsty. Who do you hate? What is your hatred directed towards? The settlers? The soldiers here?
You get it.
Are you related to the people that were forcibly removed from their lands?
There's something bedroom.
Yeah, we're in Edith's bedroom. I'd love to play and hang out with Edith. Are you here, Edith? We heard a lot about you.
Sing the song.
What song?
Come on.
What song do you want us to sing?
Isn't there one?
One what? One song?
I don't know how.
To sing? You want to learn how to sing? I always wonder, you're
A
talking...
party. Commit to your mother.
I always wonder because we're talking during this, but can you move something in this room or touch one of those lights like you did before, like that one over there, to show me that you're actually here?
It's getting early.
It is.
Don't know what that means. It's getting early.
It's like 1:30 in the morning. I'm an adult.
We talked a few times.
Who? Who talked?
Dirty. There were 6.
6 what?
You're welcome.
Welcome
Leave.
to what? Why do you want us to leave so bad?
Bad friend.
We've never met you before, though. We could be good friends. We just want to hear your story and share it with people.
Oh no. I'm hurt.
So, it really seems like there was a guy named Chester who was killed during a battle. And what's the name of this protector spirit? What's your name? Or what should we call you?
Frog. Turtle.
That's so weird. Every time I've asked about it, he said wolf. I saw a snake, frog, and turtle. Are you like a nature spirit?
I knew him well.
Do you come from nature? That's interesting. It said don't go to the forest earlier too, or like woods. Are you a nature spirit? Is that where you live, amongst the trees and the grass?
Is that important?
It is important because I want to understand what you are.
Hey, smartass. I jumped in there
Into our bodies
all night long.
to share that message. I really just want to know why you're the spirit of hate, or like who you hate. Can you tell me who?
Dang.
Can you tell me who you don't like? Who you hate?
You don't even need it.
To know who you hate? I mean, I would love to know.
I'm starving.
How can we help with that?
You don't.
I'd like to, though. I mean, we'd like to help you in any way that we can.
I miss my head.
Beheaded? Were you beheaded?
Smile for me.
There you go.
Yeah, you bitch.
What was that, like you're trying to pull like a prank on me or something? I don't even know.
He's right behind me.
Where? Where is he?
Oh, you're a bastard.
Edith, do you like playing games with people? I know a lot of people have seen you over the years. I'd love to see you. It just doesn't seem like Edith is here.
Busted. Got him.
So, you just want us to leave? Like we're annoying you?
Oh, you're a treasure.
Or are you just... I always wonder, so if you're an ancient spirit, how do you know how to speak English? Do you just know everything?
Incredible.
It would be incredible if that's true.
Just sit down.
Are you able to speak every language? Because you're this powerful spirit?
keep feeling like I'm hearing stuff out there. It's weird. Is that how you know how to speak English? Because you're like a powerful entity?
Don't leave.
Well, we're getting mixed signals, told not to leave, and we're being told to leave. It's been different, all constantly back and forth all night. What do you really want? Because we're staying here all night, so you can't get rid of us.
Oh, yeah.
Talking about the protector entity, was the protector entity, was it created by people who lived here before the fort was here? Or
This right here?
Yeah, this thing.
Yeah.
Or was it brought in by people who were prisoners to protect them, and it just stayed here?
You make someone love?
So it sounds like it was like a protector spirit from
Load of crap.
before the time of the fort. So you have been here 600 years. Or it has been here. It still won't give a name though.
You want bodies.
I mean, I don't necessarily want bodies, no. If there are bodies that weren't moved, we'd like to know that. We're also not looking for bodies or war or anything. We're just here to pay respect and relax, hang out. If you know what that means. Do you just hate?
I guess. But we need.
Do you not like us because we might remind you of some of the old settlers?
Us.
Or the people who were here at the fort? Because this powerful thing really took over and hijacked tonight. And it wouldn't let us really speak to,
Bone.
to Edith. Bone. And it said skull earlier. Are there more bodies?
2 triangles.
Are there more bodies buried around here? Like, what if there were indigenous people that died during some of those imprisonments?
Yes.
I mean, I'm not going to allege anything, but it is interesting. Like, you'd imagine back then, if these indigenous...
You'll remember me.
I know, I'm definitely going to. But if these indigenous people were imprisoned here, and one died of malnourishment, or even some form of, like, maybe they were beaten or something.
She was one of many.
Maybe it really is. And it's been saying all night, like, bodies, you know, like, they never found me, stuff like that.
The soldier.
The soldier. I mean, it's not crazy to think maybe there's, like, unmarked graves of 1, 2, however many indigenous people that died while they were being held here over the years. Is that true? Is that what you're talking about? Maybe that's why the protector spirits.
You have them.
Maybe
You good?
Yeah, I'm good, but maybe it's not a protector spirit that doesn't want us around here. Maybe it's trying to tell us that there's still these secrets. At the very beginning, the first words we got, were dark secrets too?
That's a long time.
Is that true though? Like, could there be bodies, maybe not even on the fort property, but in the area of indigenous peoples who died? Their graves have never been found? That's pretty crazy actually when you think about it. Because then it's not only a protector that's protecting the burial sites of these people, it's like trying to talk to us to let us know, to like tell people. That's pretty sick. That's pretty crazy. So maybe we were misunderstanding you. Maybe you're just really protective and you're not violent or angry. Is that true? You just want what's best for the people you loved?
It's like that.
So it is like that. So you're kind of an entity that would fight and die for the people you love and your people. But you're not just randomly angry.
Not important.
What do you think?
Unless you've seen something.
What do you think is important? Peace?
What year are you?
I was born in 1996. What's important to you before we go? Can you tell me?
Damn.
What's important? Just tell me what's important.
Phone ridges? Oh, okay.
I swear I just heard a voice, not in Estes. Is there any last message you'd like to share with us before we go and go to bed? Anything left you'd like to say? Anything left that you'd like to say?
I hear drums.
This is your last chance. Your last chance to say something.
I can give it to you.
Give it to me really fast before we're done.
You little fool. Oh my god.
That was really interesting, actually. I don't think the evil thing's evil.
What do you mean?
It sounds more like it's a spirit that's here to protect people, and it loves people, and it's trying to say that there were these unmarked burials of indigenous people somewhere in the area that have never been found. And it made sense with all the stuff we've gotten all night. With it talked about bodies, the dark secret at the very beginning, tons of stuff, but it didn't sound evil.
That's good.
Yeah.
I can sleep in peace now.
No, your camera died like 2 minutes in, so I've had to be filming with this. But I think we're gonna go to bed.
Yeah.
If anything happens tonight, we will definitely talk about it in the morning, but
Or we'll die.
or we'll die. You never know.
No
The
big
protector might get Connor. You never know.
Why me?
All right, everybody. So it's a few days later. We've been enjoying our time here in San Angelo, Texas. It's honestly a beautiful spring day. And we've come now to the Fairmount Cemetery here in San Angelo, where a number of notable people from the town's history are buried. This is like the big kind of old lavish cemetery in town. It's really pretty. But we've come to lay some flowers down for one very special person. So, took us about 20 minutes to find this grave. But here we are. Here it is. So here right next to us is the grave of Edith Grierson. Now, Edith was the little girl who we thought we were speaking with the other night at Fort Concho. Edith obviously died when she was young. It's a terrible story, but it's an interesting story because they left her body there at the fort. She was the last person to be moved. But eventually, I don't know exactly what happened. He didn't really expand on that, but they decided to move her grave to this cemetery. Now, I don't know exactly why the Smith plot right here was chosen.
Because all these are Williams too.
Yeah, these people don't appear to be buried with Edith. It's 2 Smiths and some Williams. So I don't know if they just chose a plot, or maybe they moved her body back then and then they kind of discovered where she was buried and they just left her here. But Edith, yeah, this is just you know, kind of a sad ending because she isn't with her parents right now, but at least she has this really beautiful little gravestone and marker in a really nice cemetery. So, Edith, thank you so much for speaking with us the other night and for hanging out. We brought you some flowers, and we're sending you so much love and good energy and light and positivity and happiness. And we just really hope that you're living a good afterlife. And we're not afraid of you. No one over at the old house is afraid of you. So if you want to continue playing with people and, you know, letting them know that you're there, go right ahead. But these flowers are for you.
Edith, it was really nice talking to you a couple days ago. It was really cool to be able to see the old place you lived in. We're really sorry about what happened to you, but we hope that you're living a good life now and you can be happy.
Well, that's a wrap, my friend.
That's a wrap.
Creepy night.
Very creepy night.
Not leaving any flowers for Static.
No.
I don't even know how you do that. Even though you do feel kind of bad, because, you know, if it's really an indigenous protector spirit, you understand why that entity would be angry, because of what really happened.
Mm-hmm.
You know, the true history of America was written in blood. So, yeah, but those are deeper questions for another video. Thank you,
Find that
Edith.
video on Conspiracy Files.
Yeah, right. Thanks, Edith.
Thank you, Edith.
Our night at Fort Concho was incredibly interesting. Not only do I feel like we actually spoke with something intelligent, but we spoke with multiple intelligent entities. Yes, it seems like Edith still haunts that home, but there are also soldiers and unidentified men. And then of course, Static, which is what we nickname that malignant energy that seems to be stalking the halls of that home, and really the Fort Concho campus. Throughout our investigation, we were given clues as to what Static might be, but we still really don't have any idea just what that energy is. But it seemed like something that didn't want us there, and something that was a bit angry about things that had happened in the past. And of course, when you analyze that drawing that Connor did, it's a little bit disturbing. Now, is Fort Concho a terrifying, extremely haunted, and dangerously spooky place? No. It's got some very good energy, and you can tell that the people that take care of the place really love it. But do there seem to be some restless souls there with unresolved business? Yes, indeed. I'd love to see more paranormal investigators check out that home on Fort Concho to see if they get some of the same evidence that we did, and to try make further contact with this unhappy spirit. After all, we just want to help. And if there's anything that we can try to do to help a spirit move on in the afterlife, you know that we try. But until next time, y'all, please let me know what you thought of this investigation in the comments section. We have one of our best episodes of all time coming next week, and I am so unbelievably excited to release it. But anyways, this is the start of our Texas series, and we have 5 incredible videos coming up. Once again, anyways, y'all, have a great rest of your week. I love each and every one of you who watch these videos. I'll see you next time, and stay spooky.
Hello.